Welcome to Mosaic. I'm your host, Susan Schulman-Pertnoy. Mosaic is Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County's weekly news magazine, exploring the most critical issues facing Jews here and around the world. A reality TV star turns advocate for Holocaust education and a warrior against antisemitism. We'll find out what motivates her and inspires the people she meets wherever she goes. We'll be right back with Mosaic.
You are the book that lights the spark and the hand that passes the torch, the fuel that powers the change that betters the world, across town, across oceans, the hand that soothes the spirit that survived the unthinkable. You are there in the darkest of times to strengthen our community.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
More moving horror stories. Slick salesman makes you a great deal. Sleazy movers hold everything hostage until you pay a higher fee.
As a former police officer, I've heard all of the moving horror stories. But you can trust me and my pros, and we'll have you saying, Opa! Call Star Greek.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
What's the best kept secret in new cars? It's that you can get a brand new Mini at Brayman Mini Palm Beach for under $21,000, which includes free maintenance for 3 years. No kidding.
Plus, free membership to the Fun Mini Club of South Florida for road trips and autocross, and even more with club room social events. Mini is more than just driving. It's about having fun with the Brayman Mini community. Learn about Brayman Mini at BraymanMini.com. Minis for under $21,000, free maintenance, Mini Club, and Club Brayman benefits. It's a no-brainer. Brayman Mini is the right choice.
Are you concerned about the rise of antisemitism and other challenges facing the Jewish community? Join us in doing something about it. Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County has a variety of opportunities for you to stand up for what you care about by advocating, volunteering, learning, and connecting. Visit jewishpalmbeach.org/upcoming for a full list of opportunities coming up near you.
The Live-In Palace at Morse Life is leasing luxury residences for ages 65 plus. Offering more than first-class amenities and white glove service, life at the Palace is like life aboard a luxury cruise ship with more things to enjoy life now. More fabulous food, more fun, more friends, more family, more freedom, more future. Morse Life is more life. Live it at the Palace. Start your fabulous future now. Call 561-537-3402.
Hi, Siggy, and welcome to Mosaic.
Thank you so much, Susan, for having me.
It's great to have you with us. You're a relationship expert, a matchmaker, a motivational speaker, an author, and a reality TV star.
Yes.
Now,
all of the above.
Yes, and currently you're an advocate for Holocaust education and a passionate speaker to combat anti-Semitism.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. You have such accomplishments and you look like you're 12.
Well, that's because I had a good plastic surgeon.
Oh, we'll talk about that later. But before we start about your latest endeavors, tell us about how did you land Real Housewives of New Jersey?
Well, I was on TV prior, 10 years before. I had my own dating show on VH1. It was called Why Are You Still Single? And I got a call from Jacqueline Larita. She said, Siggy, we need you on Housewives. I said, Jacqueline, why? She goes, well, we have a situation where somebody's in jail and she's coming out of jail and her husband's going into jail. And I said, what? What's going on? And she goes, yeah, we need some light and laughter on the show. And I'm like, oh, okay. And at that time, I just come out with my book, How to Write Your Own Fairy Tale. And the book is fabulous. And I really wanted to give everybody all these tools of how I've had successful relationships, even with a divorce. I consider my divorce a success because I was able to keep the family unit, together and have a great relationship with my ex. And I needed that platform. So I said, I'm going to go on Housewives. My husband said, you're making a mistake. They're not looking for good. Everything that's happening today in America and in Israel, I experienced firsthand on the Housewives of New Jersey, and I'm so grateful to the show. I'm grateful to Bravo. I'm grateful for it all because it put me now in the best position I've ever been. At the age of 52, I'm able to leave the house now and say to my children, to my husband, and to my parents, I am finally doing God's work, and it is the best work I've ever done.
So let's backtrack a little bit. First of all, on Housewives.
Yes.
You were sharing the intimate aspects of your life. I'm
Yes.
so private, I barely tell people where I live.
No.
So how
Most
did
people,
you do,
and
how
you're,
did you
and
do
you're the
that?
normal, this is the not normal. Because I've always been a very public person, because from a young age, I always felt like if we live if we're all quiet and we all hold it in, it's not good on the inside. I believe in sharing because if I could help one person, that was always, if I could help one person, if somebody can see me falling flat on my face and watch me pick myself up and head right, just keep moving forward. If I could change a life, it's the best feeling in the world. And I've done it my whole life. And I've had people saying, because of you, I was inspired to leave my boyfriend who was an abusive man. You know what? My relationship with my mother was toxic and you taught me how to know my worth. And I said, really? How did I teach you that? She goes, well, you said once, you don't have to sit next to her during Thanksgiving. You don't have to take 5 phone calls. I know, Susan, you know, you had a great relationship with your mother. You know, may she rest in peace.
Thank you.
You can't pick and choose your family. Sometimes you have family members that can be very toxic. The key to life is to listen to your gut. If somebody's toxic in your life, you don't have to feel bad about saying, there's a door. Take the L out of lover. This relationship is now over.
Tell us about the conflict that made you leave. Can you?
Well, I never ever wanted to be on that show. One day when we were filming, and we were talking about a charity event, a person who I wasn't getting along with, which is a dream on that show. You don't get along with somebody. To me, the chemistry didn't work. But when we were making a reference and somebody said, you know what, I'm going to Susan's party. And somebody said, I don't like Susan. I said, but you've never met Susan. So why are you interjecting? Susan's my friend, she's having a party, I'm going to a party. And that person, who I've not gotten along with, says, Hitler wouldn't have killed me. Does that make him a good person? And at that moment, I was in shock. But at that moment, the Lion of Judah roared from inside my gut. Something happened to me. And at first, I couldn't move. And I went home to check with my father. And I said, Dad, very gentle man, the opposite of me. That's because I was born in a bomb shelter. They asked me why I'm not quiet. And I said, Abba, somebody today referenced Hitler in casual conversation.
It's dangerous.
And my father said, Siggy, it's your time to speak up. There is nothing casual about Hitler. There's nothing casual about the Holocaust. If you were talking about the Holocaust or World War II, yes, I can understand somebody mentioning. You're talking about a charity event, that remark was made to hurt you. That remark was a remark that shouldn't have been said. And I would not let it go. And I said, I am not backing down from this. Now I know what my purpose was on the show.
Great thought. We have to take a break. We'll be right back after this brief message. Coming up, how Siggy learned to find the good out of the most tragic circumstances, and how she says you can too.
What's the best kept secret in new cars? It's that you can get a brand new Mini at Bremen Mini Palm Beach for under $21,000, which includes free maintenance for 3 years. No kidding.
Plus, free membership to the fun Mini Club of South Florida for road trips and autocross, and even more with club room social events. Mini is more than just driving. It's about having fun with the Bremen Mini community. Learn about Bremen Mini at BremenMini.com. Minis for under $21,000, free maintenance, Mini Club, and Club Bremen benefits. It's a no-brainer. Bremen Mini is the right choice.
Eat, drink, and enjoy Shabbat services at Temple Bethel's Friday night happenings. Cocktail reception and kosher dinner at 5:30, followed by our creative, musically driven Shabbat service. Traditional to progressive, the food and music change every Friday, and you'll want to stay for complimentary dessert.
Plan to spend the whole evening here, and you'll walk away and you'll say, wow, we're coming back next week. Welcome at Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat services at Temple Bethel, open to everyone. Join us every Friday night.
Are you concerned about the rise of antisemitism and other challenges facing the Jewish community? Join us in doing something about it. Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County has a variety of opportunities for you to stand up for what you care about by advocating, volunteering, learning, and connecting. Visit jewishpalmbeach.org/upcoming for a full list of opportunities coming up near you.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
For moving horror stories.
Hey, I heard you're looking for a mover. I got a deal for you.
Staring at his mover out there.
As a former police officer, I've heard all of the moving horror stories. But you can trust me and my pros, and we'll have you saying,
Opa!
Call Star Greek.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
You are the book that lights the spark and the hand that passes the torch, the fuel that powers the change that betters the world, across town, across oceans, the hand that soothes the spirit that survived the unthinkable. You are there in the darkest of times to strengthen our community.
We're back talking with Siggy about her experiences on the Housewives of New Jersey and the awful experience that you had, which led you to...
Turned into a mitzvah.
Yes.
Turned into the best thing ever.
But talk about, you were just speaking about the viewers, and they had an insight into anti-Semitism.
Well,
it's
yes.
a unique opportunity for them.
Well, this happened about 3 years ago. Anti-Semitism was not on the forefront. And being, raised in a Jewish home with my father, Dr. Mordechai Paldiel, who ran Yad Vashem, the Righteous Gentile Division for over 24 years, and was saved by a Catholic priest during the Holocaust. So every Friday night, we would sit around the Kiddush table, and my father would say story after story about the Holocaust and the Jewish people. And growing up, I was like, Lama, again, Lama in Hebrew means why do we keep repeating the same stories? I got to go to a party. I want to put on my makeup and head out the door. And my father would say, Sigalit, it's very important that we tell stories of our past to ensure our future.
Do you have any stories that he told you that are in the forefront of your mind? You want to share?
I can't. My father has, I bless his heart, 23 books on the Holocaust. He knows every single person's name, where they came from, who their survivor was. The best story that my father ever told was that he was talking to this woman, and during the time when the Germans were lining up the Jews and they were shooting them, and the bullet happened to miss this one lady in particular. She fell into a ditch. Everybody's naked. She waited until the dead of the night and got herself up from under all those bodies and was running naked in her village, knocked on the door of a non-Jew, and he opened the door and he said, "Come on in, I'm hiding." Her sister also was being hidden in a barn for 4 years.
Wow.
And my dad was telling the story, and I will never forget this. And my sister, my brother, and I are looking at my father, and and I said, "Dad, what happened to her?" And he said, "Slava, would you please stand up?" And I was soggy. I couldn't. The righteous Gentiles, and there's so many of them. Up to date now, we have over 28,000 righteous Gentiles. When my father was at Yad Vashem, him and his department were responsible for honoring over 19,000. But these people put their lives on the line. And not only did they put their families at risk and their own lives at risk, when you ask, and this is what I love when there's a righteous Gentile in the house, and my father would say, "Why did you do it?" I said, we don't understand that question. Like, people today are like, "Siggy, thank you for all you do." I don't understand it. It's what we should be doing.
Right.
It's not, today everybody will line up to see some famous person and try to get their autograph. And that famous person is really not a good person. And they really don't contribute to society. But because they see them on TV, they think, "Oh my God."
It's tremendous, the power of the media.
Yes, the true heroes are the people who really give back in the most unselfish ways.
So it's so interesting to me. Your father grew up in the Holocaust. amongst horrible atrocities, and yet he spent his life seeing the positive I mean, the juxtaposition between the two. How do you deal with that?
Right now, we have our Holocaust survivors.
Yes.
They're in their 90s.
I know. This is dangerous.
I am not going to let them down. I'm now going to Auschwitz with my father for the 75th liberation. And I take my kids, Americanized. I take them to Israel. I show them what life is like. I have them talk to the IDF soldiers. I host them at my house. You have to give back in any way. No one's judging. But you have to understand one thing. If Israel doesn't survive, we're not surviving here. And that's a fact. I'm not even saying it to scare anybody. It's standing up to evil and terror.
So what do you think is lacking in Holocaust education?
I think that a lot of people live in a bubble, and we don't like to talk about things that are bad. We like to go on, and everybody wants to be healthy and happy, and we just want to block bad things out. In this situation, you can't. The greatest crime in history is not violence, it's silence, especially for the Jewish people. If we want history to repeat ourselves, we might as well go on and get our manicure and pedicures and eat I eat in 5-star restaurants, and I have beautiful food, and I have a beautiful life, and I'm not denying that. But at the end of the day, you have to give back in some sort of way, and you must. You cannot say that you are a Jew and not support Israel. It doesn't go together. I know a lot of people are going to be, it doesn't matter to me. You'll never meet an Italian that says Italy does not have a right to exist. Italy. I go all over the world, and not only are there Holocaust deniers, let's put that aside. People, our own people, don't know our history.
That's right.
We have been part of Israel. It was called Judah and Samaria. 2,000 years before the great Jesus Christ was even born. We were conquered by the Assyrians, the Byzantines, the Crusaders, the Roman, Cyrus the Great, Alex the Great. We've been conquered 44 times. Hitler, Saddam Hussein. Not one person has been successful in defeating the Jewish people or the state of Israel. Not one. In 1948, when we were attacked and my grandfather fought and died liberating Israel, we didn't have an army. Susan, we had 650,000 wandering Jews with chutzpah and ometz. You know what ometz is? Courage. They weren't silent. They said, we're not going to be thrown from our homeland. We're not going to be thrown. We've been living on this land. We have proof of it.
That's right.
We'd love to live with everybody else. Just stop attacking us. We're not leaving this homeland. And we were attacked by 6 of the most powerful countries, the powerful armies. We won.
As we did in the 6-Day War, and we continue to win. We must take a break. I'm so sorry. We'll be right back after this brief message. Coming up, more with Siggy, former reality TV star turned advocate for Holocaust awareness.
You are the book that lights the spark and the hand that passes the torch. The fuel that powers the change that betters the world, across town, across oceans. The hand that soothes the spirit that survived the unthinkable. You are there in the darkest of times to strengthen our community.
Picture living aboard a luxury cruise ship with first-class service and the best amenities 24/7. Life at Tradition is just like a cruise ship that doesn't leave port. With more fabulous food, more fun with friends and family, a more fulfilling future, more care when you need it, and more freedom when you don't. Our elegant assisted living residences provide so much more, so you can make the most of every day. Rent an apartment at Morse Life and see how much more life can be.
Are you concerned about the rise of antisemitism and other challenges facing the Jewish community? Join us in doing something about it. Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County has a variety of opportunities for you to stand up for what you care about by advocating, volunteering, learning, and connecting. Visit jewishpalmbeach.org/upcoming for a full list of opportunities coming up near you.
What's the best kept secret in new cars? It's that you can get a brand new Mini at Bremen Mini Palm Beach for under $21,000, which includes free maintenance for 3 years. No kidding.
Plus, free membership to the fun mini club of South Florida for road trips and autocross, and even more with club room social events. Mini is more than just driving. It's about having fun with the Bremen Mini community. Learn about Bremen Mini at BremenMini.com. Minis for under $21,000, free maintenance, Mini Club, and Club Bremen benefits. It's a no-brainer. Bremen Mini is the right choice.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
More moving horror stories. Think it's a good idea for your friends to show up with pizza and beer to help you move? Wrong. Amateurs.
Is there a real mover out there?
As a former police officer, I've heard all of the moving horror stories. But you can trust me and my pros, and we'll have you saying,
Opa!
Call Star Greek.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
We're back with Siggy talking about anti-Semitism and Holocaust awareness. And I want to take it to another topic,
Yes.
which is actually all part of this.
Okay.
You've got college-age children.
Correct.
How are they dealing with anti-Semitism on campus, or are they exposed to it?
Everybody's exposed to it today. It's everywhere. It's, not even the Jewish colleges are safe to it. We're having incidents at Syracuse, where a lot of my children's friends go, and we're having incidents on University of Michigan, one of the greatest colleges, universities. My son's at Penn State. He has experienced it, and you know what? He fights right back. They all...
How do you prepare kids for this? This is very difficult.
I say to them, listen, in order to be great, you're going to be mocked. You're going to be mocked. There's something, the biggest gift to me is to be a Jew. I love being Jewish. I instill that Jewish pride in my kids. Why is it, Marianne Williamson once had a quote, it says, why should I have to shrink myself so somebody else feels comfortable? You know what's so great about the Jewish people? We're survivors. We don't ask for anything. We're survivors. Anywhere you put a Jew, that Jew will survive. Why? I don't know if it's because our parents taught us, but we actually get up and we hustle and bustle, and you know what? On the most part, God forbid, we become successful. Oh, should that be that's such a hard thing? Do you understand what the Jewish people give back to the world?
Yes, it's incredible. But the world has to have buy-in also. It's very important for
the
the
world's
world.
buying. Susan, you
Yes.
use your phone?
Yes.
Israel, Intel, the Microsoft 8088, WhatsApp, Waze, drip irrigation. Nobody wants to talk about it, but Israel basically ended world hunger. Now, God gave us a piece of land and no oil, just sand.
Right.
We have done the most incredible things, the Nobel Peace Prizes. Why? Because while other people hate us, you know what we do? We create. While they hate, we create. And that's the thing about a Jewish person that is it's so fabulous. But you have to understand, with being fabulous, you're going to have people who are going to be envious. And I have to lay it on the line and cut all the baloney. People are envious of the Jewish person. It is what it is. I'd rather have somebody envious of me and me continue to create and make the world a better place. They're not going to hold me back. I won't turn negative. I won't turn scared. I won't turn a blind eye. We all have a reason why we're here. When we leave the world, we want to leave our legacy behind. And I know Jewish people leave a huge legacy in this world.
They really do. What do you think about how would you handle the BDS situation?
Well, BDS is very complex. Why? BDS gets a lot of money from Qatar and Iran. And what it is that when people are making money, they show up in piles, and they stand there and it's scary. So here's how you handle it. You look at them in the eye and you say, okay, let's have a conversation. You want to yell? I could yell too. But the thing that we can't do is hide from it. We can't. They're on every college campus, and now how are we fighting it back? We have several of our own organization on college campuses, and we are fighting back. And guess what the good news is? We're winning. You know why? Because when you have education and the truth behind you, you're going to win. So you could hold up a picture and say, oh my God. Now, do Palestinian people have rights? Absolutely. Absolutely. A human life is a human life. I want every Palestinian to be able to raise their children in peace and love. But you cannot have peace when you are led by a terrorist organization that doesn't want peace. War is money. So the innocent are always being used by politics, by the people up top. Getting back to BDS, how do we fight it? We fight it with the truth. We stand up and we look at anti-Semitism in the eye and we shoot it down.
Yes, get rid of the fake news. It all comes back to the fake news.
Of course. And those are the people on top who are saying, this is what you're going to talk about today. You're going to talk about occupation, apartheid. I'm like, apartheid? I went to Israel and I took videos of Israel. Apartheid, Arabs vote. Arabs are free. You go to Hadassah Hospital, you see Christian, Muslims, and Jews living together. It's the only democracy in the Middle East. The Arabs are like, wow, we love living in Israel. We have rights here. We have freedom here. We don't have to hide. We're allowed to say what we actually want. I have people from Gaza calling me and saying, I can't wait. I can't wait for Hamas to leave our territory so we can live in peace. People want to live in peace. And we have the fake news, the false narratives, the propaganda, and the people on top who are making money that need to step down and give the people a chance to live.
Great message. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Susan. Thank you.
Mosaic is brought to you by these generous sponsors and underwriters. Learn how you can support Mosaic by visiting jewishpalmbeach.org/mosaic.